Welcome back if you're just joining us. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. And before we went on the short break, we were actually looking at students alone. And of course, about 27,000 students around Nigeria has benefited from these initiatives that President Bola Tinubu came up with. But as it stands now, no students, not even one from the southeast, had benefited from this. And the is because they did not comply with the requirements that they sent a message to some of the institutions over there, but none of them actually sent students. None of them did something about it. And I'm wondering, is it really student loan again or institutional loans? What exactly it is? Because if it is student loan, anybody that feels that I am qualified should be able to register, and then if the requirements are, if they don't meet the requirements, and then a name should be dropped. But why will it be that of all the states only Southeast students are exempted from this? So is it students loan or institutional loan? What exactly it is?
You know, I've mentioned it that there is a political loan. It is political in the sense, it's only when it is political that you can remove some zone or some institutions out of it. But what is shocking in all these, it is called loan. And by the definition of the word loan, is money you take. Maybe this one does not have interest, maybe zero interest rate.
Zero interest.
Otherwise, ordinarily, loan usually goes with interest. But this one we call it student loan. But because it carries the name loan, it means that any student who takes it, there is a time lag to pay back. If it is such a structured loan to be paid back, why is it that we give institutions requirement? Is it the institution that will take the loan or the student that will take the loan, like you have asked? So the Nigeria situation is something you cannot actually place in the template of reasoning and you come out with a good solution. Otherwise, as far as it is, being student loan is something that you will put on the platform for any student who is interested in it, because it's a loan, something you must pay. If you know you don't have the capacity to repay, you don't go for it. But if you think that, oh, my academics at this point is I'm having some financial difficulties, let me take this loan to assist myself, then later on I can plan myself to repay. It becomes a decision of the students, not the university, not the polytechnic, not the institutions. So when the Ministry of Education is saying the institution did not meet the requirement, like the number you are saying now is 27. 27 students have applied already.
27,000.
27,000 benefited already.
Benefited here.
If we take Ajuri University, River State University, University of Port Harcourt, we have more than 27,000 already.
Well,
are you with me?
Well, we don't know how they came up with our statistics, that number, but let's just see how it goes. Maybe between now until next week, that they will include Southeast, because that's a major issue here. All right, let's look at the next story because of time. Pengassan President Mr. Festus Osifa expressed concern over growing dominance of ex-parties, particularly Indian nationals in Nigerian oil and gas sector, accusing them of taking over low-level jobs with as a blatant abuse of the experts quota system. Speaking at the Energy and Labour Summit in Abuja, Osifo highlighted the issues of companies like Sterling Oil employing more Indians than Nigerians, even for basic jobs, despite engaging with Nigerians' Content Development Monitoring Board for 2 years. No progress has been made. Osifo called on the federal government to take decisive action to protect Nigerian workers' rights, warning the Pengassans may resort to confrontation if the situation persists. All right, Mr. Duffy, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria has stated that the increasing dominance of ex-parties, particularly Indian nationals in the sector, is alarming. I am wondering, even though they said if the federal government does not do something about this, that they are going to take action, could it be that Nigerians do not have the
basic requirement?
Not just the requirements, is it that they are not qualified? Because someone mentioned a particular company this morning when we were talking, said if you go to this place, you will realize that it's more of Indians, right, that are there. I'm wondering, is it that Nigerians are not qualified, or are they singing? What's going on? If you do not celebrate our own, if you do not make use of what we have, and then who will?
Well, as far as I know, every company aims at something. What is that? Profit. Profit. Then apart from profit, every company wants to achieve that which is set from the beginning. No company will just want to employ people in the name of employment. Otherwise, you will fail. Your plan will fail.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Edafe? Because we know we know that it's like the Pengasan said that most times when employment is called on, you will see Nigerians go into something because they know that they have the basic requirements, they have what it takes to do the work. But they prefer to bring foreigners to come and do this work. Is it that they have more ideas than we do? And if indeed what they are teaching them over there in their different institutions is better than this, so why can't they bring it over here than looking down on Nigerians, leaving them jobless? Because of course you know the number of unemployed youths in our country today.
Well, for me, as we look at some of these issues, because Pengasin is a partner with interest as far as this matter is concerned.
Yeah.
It's a partner with interest. So they will not tell you the exact thing that is going on there. Whatever they will tell you is what will suit their own side of the story. But that aside, we want to see that Nigeria, for example, you mentioned the other time where you were trying to bring out the first issue. We talk about that governance in Nigeria, we talk about road and all that. That is the major focus of every government in Nigeria is a physical road, physical project. Look at this Niger Delta, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo State. How many experts have our government been able to train to take advantage of the oil industry in this country? How many experts? We say the government of Niger Delta, we have 50, 100 experts we sent to France, we sent to America for the basis of oil exploration, and they become experts. Not just people who go to university. I studied mechanical engineering, and at the end of the day, you work in a one oil company like Mobi. You have opportunity. Somebody push you into Mobi some time ago. You work there 3, 4, 5 years. Now you say you have the experience. It's beyond that. The industry is beyond that. When we talk about expatriate, I know that we have the local content policy in Nigeria. It's unfortunate that Nigeria can formulate policy. They don't keep the policy. In Rivers State here, for example, let me deviate a little. It's an anti-grazing law that we brought about here before Wike left office. And Nama still continue to move around in our street, even inside Port Harcourt town. Nama still moves about. So it is so in Nigeria. We have the local content policy in Nigeria. Yet in all that, government does not follow it up to say, this is the policy we have made. This is the binding laws we have in this country. Let us follow it up so that to make sure that as far as you are in this country, you abide by this policy. It's not it's in us. It's not in our government. Everybody is scavenging how you can make ends meet.
Mr. Edafe, you are saying that you are tying this to the federal government, that how many Nigerians have they been able to train to be experts in this field?
Yes.
But the Pengasons are saying that there are experts who are from Nigeria, that are Nigerians.
Yes.
But anytime this kind of opportunity comes up, they prefer to look outside than inside. Yes, we know that the government might not be able to train because, of course, you know that education now is very expensive.
Yes.
But there are people that have gone extra mile to get some of this. And you know that in this industry, it's not a place where you jump from level 1 to 20. You have to move. You cannot go to get number 3 certificate when you have not gotten number 2. Do you understand? Let's look at engineering. You can't say you want to go and get this certificate when you have not gotten this one. You just have to keep moving one time, because at every point you get to, they will ask you, have you gotten this one? Do you get? So we have these people who have been able to train themselves to be experts, and they've gotten this experience. That is where they came up to say, why is it that they are leaving these people jobless and rather looking outside? So that's what I'm asking. When are we going to start celebrating and making use of what we have? When?
It's Nigeria. The when is Nigeria.
The how is Nigeria.
Yes, because, yes, now, I have told you that Nigeria, every sector scavenge for survival. So, Pegasus is not out of it. In the industry, you cannot say Nigerians, those who are good, you can't write them off completely.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's what I'm telling you too. They're saying their own, I'm telling you my own.
So who is at fault here?
You can't tell me.
You were blaming the government. You're saying that the government.
I am not blaming the government.
But you say how many have they trained? Okay, you have taken back your word.
No, I'm not taking back my word.
You're still blaming them.
Let me reiterate what I've said so far.
Okay.
What I've said is that in this critical industry of oil and gas, if we have a people-oriented government, the government in this country would have trained citizens that would have taken possession of that industry. But I am telling you, how many have we trained? And in the absence of enough expatriate that Nigerian can bring out, then we are going to look outside for expatriate that will fill the gap. Now we are saying, of course, Nigerian man will tell you that, we have it. This, what is that organization? They give a certificate, they qualify people in the oil industry. What is that name of this thing? It's something, if you apply, do 1 or 2 things, they give you that certificate. Okay. Even when you are not an engineer or this or that.
Okay.
I'm aware of that. So what we are saying here is that an expatriate is an expatriate. If you, as you are today, if any manager, any good manager sees your quality, that what I am looking for in a personnel that can deliver the mandate of my company, he will go after you. Whether you are a black or you are white, whether you are Nigerian or you are not Nigerian. Okay. So for me, as a manager, to look for an Indian, when the Nigerian man who can even do the job better than the Indian man, there's something is there somewhere that we must look into dispassionately.
But again,
that's what I'm saying.
I would like to, most of these companies are actually talking about, I do not have the privilege to mention some of those companies. How many is owned by Nigerians?
That is it, of course.
How many is owned by Nigerians?
The politicians own many of them too. Yes, now. Many are owned by foreigners. And
they decide to make use of their people.
If they decide to make use of their people, that is where the local content policy comes into play.
Okay.
Are you with me? So if government does not implement, you cannot train your own. If the policy you have made, you cannot implement. So what are you saying? The man who owns the company needs the best of workers to give him the best of production that he needs. I don't form my company because I need because you are my brother, we are the same village, you come and spoil my work. I don't do that. I will not do it. So I need the best to get the best out of my production. I want to produce. Because the people there, their investment, they must secure it. Did they bring money here to come and waste it? So I did the money to the village. Is it we are talking?
I really don't understand what you're saying, Mr. Edafe. Are you saying that Nigerians are wasters? That are you saying we're not good?
We are good.
So Why are you talking about brother?
No, we are. See, you are not getting what I'm telling you. If I have a Niger, I have told you that if I open a company, I have an aspiration in mind before I make that investment.
So you don't want to take chances?
I will not just waste my investment on the platform of brotherhood. That is my brother in the village. Okay. I will not waste my investment on the platform of brotherhood. If my brother is good and can give me what I want in my company, nothing stop me from employing my brother. But my brother who will not come in and want to be a saboteur in the system, I will not want to employ such people.
All right,
let us put the platform, let us put the issues side. The man who brings an Indian, he knows why he brings an Indian to do his job. And if that is not okay for Nigeria, if it's a violation of the local content policy, then it beholds the government of Nigeria to do the needful.
All right. Academy and grant writing enclave aim to improve the chances of Nigerian researchers in securing a position of the 5 billion National Research Fund. Wadami Dola Palam, age director of Research and Development, announced during a webinar that the initiative represents a strategic investment in the future of Nigerian research. This initiative is a strategic investment in the future of Nigerian research by equipping scholars with the skills to write compelling concept notes. We are not only increasing their chances of securing funding, but also securing that the research address our nation's critical needs, he added. You've heard what I just read. They want to at least sponsors at least Nigerians with a 5 billion naira to go over there for research that will also help Nigerians, especially in this challenging time. I know you talked about how many people in oil and gas sector that has not got government trained. Is that what we really want, as in this? Is this the kind of research that we want in present time? So when they find out what happened, just like we're giving preferring solutions here, after they have found out the research, what we need for Nigeria to be a better place, and which protesters have also protested, the government is not listening. What is the tendency that when they come up with a solution that the government will listen?
Who is funding the research?
We have organizations that will be funding the research.
Is it Nigerian organization? Is it Nigerian government? Is it Nigerian government? That is not our interest. That's what I'm telling you. For Nigerian man, Oyibo man can sit down. White man can sit down with one thing. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whether he's have food or not, he want to get a name. That's not our interest now. You know it. And that is why when we do things like this, it doesn't interest those in government, because that's what we are looking for. Our own is, what do you have on the table? Let's quick. Let's have your own, let's have my own. Life move on. Are we thinking of a research that will remove diabetes in the next 10 years in this country? Is that what we are looking at? Are we looking at research that in the next 10 years, malaria fever, in fact, there will be no part of Nigeria who will have one seed of mosquito? Is that the kind of research we are looking at? Who is interested in that?
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Mr. Edafe. There I go again.
Give me that title again.
I hope that when the number of persons that are interested in this research come out, and then they get to hear, to see the kind of money that will be given to them to be able to assist them in carrying out this research, they will not think of business, because honestly, it's more like Nigerians, they are after food now. They don't need any other thing. They just want to be comfortable, and not all of this research. Well, that's not me. I'm actually saying it, Dafe's voice, what he said is, this is not what we want now. All right, this is how much we can take on today's show. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Miss Immaculata Irikana. On all our media platforms: Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you. Good afternoon.